Good evening and peace be with you. Abobronko Kofi Yezu again. I am back today also. Now today my story is, how many souls have you saved? How many people have you led them to the light? How many people have you used your own self for them to know who Christ is? Like, for instance, the examples and the things that you've been doing, what you've been doing, not what you have been saying, but your character. Does it portray Jesus Christ? Does it actually show who Christ is? I'm only going to give a little bit of an example for us to see how you can actually shun people from seeing Christ. The most important thing is your character. If you call yourself a Christian, then you got to live the life of Christ. You got to humble yourself. You got to serve one another so that people will see your deeds and then follow Christ. People will see who you are and know who Christ is because you are his follower. When Jesus Christ died and resurrected, he went to the disciples. They were so much afraid. They are like me. They are cowards. Peter is, when Christ was around, Peter was very energetic. But, it's not about who is strong, but who is righteous and who is telling the truth. But Christ being so good does not actually gauge us from the good things that we do. He loves us, but not what we do, because we're full of sin. If anybody says he's righteous and he's not a sinner, he's a liar. But it takes the grace of God and then the goodness of God for us to be pure and also for us to be righteous. What are you doing to shine people from seeing the light? This question you have to ask yourself and know where I am driving at. If God gives you a power, sometimes you can use that to block people from seeing Christ. If God gives you riches, sometimes you can block people from seeing Christ. But some people also, because of their riches and things like that, they use that to let people know who Christ is by being so generous, by helping one another from what they get. There are people who are kings and elders of the church. They are politicians who do not even believe that there's anybody called God. All they know is that we just came on this earth. There was some bang and then we all came out. No. There is a maker. There is somebody who actually brought us, or who created this world. In our common sense, we should know that there is a high power. There's miracle all over us, around us, all the time. Like I said, there's a saying in Africa that nobody shows a kid who God is. We grow with him because we are in him. He put himself into us. He gave us the wisdom inside our heads. It is here. And the church is the body of us. The church is in our heart. So when you grow, whilst you're growing, you see God and you know him. So it doesn't take somebody to sit you down and show you who God is. We can actually, talk about God and then discuss God and see the creation and see the wonderful things that he's making. The sun, the moon, the mountains, the flowers, the birds, and we, the human beings. We can actually discuss and know that God is existing. My thing is, how many people have you brought to God? Now, when Jesus resurrected, and like I said, the disciples were hidden. They were afraid. So Jesus went to them and said, "Peace be with you. Assalamu alaikum. Asundje enkamo." Now, Jesus gave them, at that time, he gave them the instruction that they should go out and preach. He broke the fear from them. He actually made them see that he is the Christ because he has resurrected. And from that point, there's no death that can actually overcome him. But even in that sense, he became so humble. He became very humble. He did not use his power. If it were to be me, oh my God, I'll finish people like anything. Especially those who put that hammer and nailed me, those who whipped me, and those who did that kind of, atrocities and all those things to me. I'll let them know that I am Christ. But no, there's nothing good on this earth for him. All that we see is rotten. If you have the power that you can kill because you're a chief, if you have a power can kill because you're a king, because you're a president, and you can shoot people here and there, my friend, there's going to be a day you yourself cannot save you. There's a place where we're going to go. So, John and Peter went to the synagogue, and on their way when they saw a cripple sitting down. And then the cripple asked them for money. And he's like, okay, for monies we don't have. But we have a name that can probably, or we have a name surely that can give you, a healing power. And so Peter prayed for this guy, and the cripple got up. When the Sanhedrin heard of this, they're like, oh my goodness, these guys are still around. They're using the name that we have warned them not to use. If we don't seize these people from saying this, they are going to spoil our belief. They're going to change our culture. They summoned them and then asked them, whose name and who gave you that power to preach this guy's name or to say his name? We have warned you not to go into public and mention his name again. So they set them aside, and then the Sanhedrin met again. When they met, all they said is, we can't do anything to these people. We can't shun them. So what we can do is to give them a warning that they shouldn't use that name in any place, not in public. And so, if we are able to do that, then probably we will be able to seize the name Christ. So they called them, and then they asked him, and then he said, Peter boldly said to them, you know what? It is the Jesus Christ that you crucified, the Jesus Christ that you mocked here. It is his name that we used to let this guy got his healing. And so you can't seize us from doing that. But the Sanhedrin or the elders of the church or the priests and all these people try to seize them not to talk again in public or not to preach his name in the church. But you know what? This is how it happens. People will keep you from spreading the good news. People will try to use their power and to use their knowledge and things like that to seize you from preaching Christ. Don't be afraid, because by all means you're going to be persecuted. And Christ said it, that it is not going to be easy. People are going to insult you. They're going to beat you. They're going to even execute you. So if you want to be his follower, because he is the truthful person, he's not going to tell you you're going to enjoy sweet, sweet things alone. No. So my point is, how many people are you planning to bring to Christ? Are you yourself being the light so that people will see you and come? Are you going to be a shield to the light so that people will not see the truth? The truth is Jesus Christ. I hope, brother, we are all going to share the good news. And he says we should go out and preach the good news. May God be with you. May he enlighten you and know who he is. And don't be afraid of death, because by all means that is going to happen. But be afraid of sin. God richly bless you. And we'll talk again. Bye-bye.